Hello everyone, welcome to Australia. Welcome to Australian Book Travels and welcome to this week's book recommendations and preparations for Christmas really. We are not even 48 hours away from Christmas Day. I can't believe it, it's crazy, unbelievable. Anyway, a bit of housework first, I guess. It is Monday today, what's that, the 23rd? Oh gosh. So tomorrow we'll do a few book recommendations today. Tomorrow we are sitting with Mark on Christmas Eve just to answer a few questions that you all have for Mark. He's going to be sitting beside me on one side or the other, and we will be wishing you a Merry Christmas, but just having a bit of a chit chat. Perhaps some books involved, but not a real book recommendation or travel video or anything like that. It will just be a bit of a chit chat before Christmas. And then on Christmas Day, we're going to have, Mark and I are going, and the boys, the dogs, we're all going to be here wishing you a Merry Christmas. I hope to have that uploaded early in the morning so that you can watch it. Well, you can watch it whenever you wish, but if you want to, you can watch it early in the morning before your day begins. And that will just be not a very long video, perhaps 10 or 15 minutes, something like that, just to wish you a Merry Christmas and to give you an update on our Christmas and the day here in Central Victoria. So that's for the next 3 days. We will be working through Christmas and the New Year, so you will have us on screen every Saturday and every Monday. I was going to say a few things actually, but I think I'll leave it. There are a few things that Mark and I have been discussing for the new year. So I think I'm going to leave that until next Monday. I won't, it's so close to Christmas now. I'm sure you really don't want to be bothered with all of those details. So yes, I think I will let you all know a little bit of our plans next week for the new year. Yes, I think that's the best idea. Okay, let's get into this. I hope you are all prepared for Christmas, but if you're not, you're like me. I'm not prepared either. And yeah, we've only got a few hours. I know there's late night shopping tonight and tomorrow. No, not tomorrow night. It's Christmas Eve, so it'll be tonight. Oh gosh, everyone. I do have a few bits and pieces to finish off. We're not going overboard, particularly this year. We don't usually go greatly overboard, but this year we're having a quieter Christmas. But we can discuss that on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day anyway. It is our book recommendation day today, so let's get on with that. Oh, everyone. Oh, and it is, I think it's meant to be about 35 today. It is already warm. It's early in the morning. But I'm just looking out the window. There's a bit of wind blowing. We do have fires in not that far from us, actually. Only around about not even 20 kilometres. So we are a little concerned because of the weather, the sun and then the rain. We do have quite a bit of grass around us. We haven't been able to get onto our fire prevention as much as we wanted. Well, we did get on with our fire prevention, but because there was more rain and more sun, after that time, we just haven't had the time to then go out and do a second fire prevention, strategy. So we are going to have to get on that probably not over Christmas because we think of, people in the area, although we are far away from people, the noise carries. So we are mindful of that, but probably just before, like in the next couple of days, we're going to have to do some evening mowing and early morning because it's just too dangerous. And everyone, we still have Mr. or Mrs. Eastern brown snake around our shed. Mark the other day we have a bag of feed that we normally put in to a really big drum in the shed, but I was being a bit lazy and I had the feed bag outside the shed under the awning, and we think Mr. or Mrs. was hanging around for mice or rats. And Mark, unfortunately, nearly stood on the snake because he or she is blending in with the colour of the ground. So you only really get to see him or her when he or she moves. So we're being very mindful of the moment. We're being really vigilant. Even if we have our sunglasses on outside, we're taking them off and really watching where we're going. The dogs are not allowed outside at all unless they're on a lead and under supervision, because I think I've told you before, we live far enough away from the vet that it would be fatal for the dogs if they were bitten by a snake, and we don't want that at all. So it has been a little bit of a headache, everyone. It's although the boys don't seem to be minding, staying inside all day. They quite like that, and then they just ask us if they have to go outside. They have their water bowl and everything indoors, so it's not too bad for them, I guess. But sometimes they do get a little bit of cabin fever, and that's understandable. So whenever we go anywhere, we try to take them out. Again, being mindful that we don't want them sitting in the car. We won't let them sit in the car at all, so on their own because of the heat. So when we go out, we have to think, well, are they able to walk out with us? If we go shopping, then one of us has to stay here to look after the dogs. Or if I have to go out filming, then Mark has to stay here with the dogs because we won't let them sit in the car. Not that we do a lot of that anyway. It's normally 24 hours a day someone is here. The property is not normally left on its own. There is either one or the other of us or a friend who will stay. So yeah, it's been a little bit torturous, everyone. But it is a fact of our life and we just have to get on with it. Okay, let's get these three going. Now, one that you haven't seen before, I don't think you've seen it before. This is by an Australian comedian, Ben Pobji. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is 100 Tales from Australia's Most Haunted Places. It is published by Affirm Press. They really are a good publishing house as well, Affirm Press. Although I'm not on their ARC, their Advanced Readers Copy list, but I do recommend a lot of their books are really, they have some really good authors, and they do have some really lovely covers and hardcovers as well. Anyway, I think The Story Thief, which is one of my favourite books of all time, it ranks up there with Charles Dickens, by Kira Geddes. Hers is by Affirm Press, I think. Yeah, really lovely authors, really lovely novels, and usually beautiful covers. Okay, so this one is, Ben does tend to have a bit of a joke through here. There are photos of some of the places he stays and some of the people he speaks about. This is historic, so obviously it's a ghost, so it's throughout the history of Australia, all around Australia. So there are, the old Melbourne Jail. There is, what was the other one? Young and Jackson's, which is a pub in Melbourne. We may go and see it, or I'll take some footage of it for you in the future. South Australia, New South Wales, all over Australia, anywhere where he could find an alleged haunted place, he has mentioned it. This is good. There is a little bit of comedy in here too, but I enjoyed it. This is a really good read for Christmas on your holiday, or you could purchase it and save it for winter. Winter's always a good time for ghost stories, but I've enjoyed it. I read it over the spring and enjoyed it. Thought it was great. So well done, Ben. A little bit of comedy, but also some may say that there's a little bit of disrespect, perhaps, but it's comedy. So you just have to accept that he is going to be a little bit facetious, or some would say perhaps rude on some of the deceased people, but that's comedy. You have to just go with that. Great. I enjoyed it. I think it would make a really good stocking filler. If you have a few minutes, you still have today to go out and tomorrow, but you still have this evening, if you're working, to go out and buy this. It's in all good bookstores, all independent bookstores. I would get that. It's a great stocking filler. And one for friends, you know, as a fun sort of, maybe even if you're still up for it, what do they call it? Kris Kringle for work. That, or between friends, that would be a really good one because it is under $20, and I know a lot of Kris Kringles are normally under $20. Some they vary, but the ones that I've been involved with, it's normally under $20. That is a good one. I would get it. Okay, this one isn't a real oldie, but I thought I would. Sorry, everyone, I have an itchy nose. There's always something, isn't there? If it's not a hair, it's an itchy nose. It must be like Pavlov's dog. You know, every time I get in front of the camera, something goes wrong. Ice cream on the floor, soda water splashing everywhere, hair in my mouth, itchy nose. Anything could happen, everyone. Anything. That's my life. Not just in front of the camera, that is my life, but we can talk about that later. Oh gosh, it really is itchy. Right, this is Ethel Lena White's The Lady Vanishes. Now, bit of a story behind this. Ethel White she was born in the late 1870s. I think she died just before the end of the Second World War. So either very early 1945 or I think it was 1944. She was a crime novelist and bit of a thriller. Now, The Lady Vanishes is actually the title of the Alfred Hitchcock movie, which was inspired by Ethel Lena White's The Wheel Spins. So this is just a retitling of The Wheel Spins. And they've titled it's the Alfred Hitchcock movie title, The Lady Vanishes. This is absolutely brilliant. We have Iris, our main protagonist. She is a socialite in the 20s, I think it is, from memory. I think we're in the 1920s. I think it was, actually it may not even have been, now that I say that, I don't think I remember there being a date. I don't think there's a date on it. But anyway, she is a socialite, and she is on a European holiday. She's heading back to England. She has a bit of perhaps sunstroke. She gets on the train. She has a lovely conversation with one of the other passengers and becomes really friendly with the passengers. Our Iris falls asleep on the train and this lady disappears. Nobody else has seen her. Did she really exist? Or is Iris imagining it? Did she imagine it with perhaps a little bit of sunstroke or tired or... So yeah, a real mystery. I love this. I thought it was one of the best, actually, as a mystery and a thriller. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. But it is an old one. Perhaps you have read it, The Wheel Spins. This is the revamp of the title, which is The Lady Vanishes. I recommend it, everyone. It's great. And, you know, mysteries I read at any time of the year, so there's no particular time. Although I guess winter is always a better time to read. You have more time, I think, to read. And it's snugglier to read in the winter. But I read any time. So I'm not seasonal like that. I read anything based at any time. You know, if it's a book that begins in spring, I don't mind reading it in winter. I just want to read and enjoy the story and to take me there. That's what a book does. You know, you don't read in winter necessarily. I think you don't read in winter and read a winter novel. The novels are about taking you away to a place where you are not necessarily. You may be, but not necessarily are you. It's to take you off and take your imagination along with the story. So this is really good. I enjoyed it. If you have watched The Lady Vanishes, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, I always prefer the book, of course, but this is great. And if you love trains, I love trains. If you love trains or you love the travel aspect, it really is a good book. I recommend it. Oh, everyone. This is so lovely. Now, you all know that I went to Sydney a few months ago. I can't believe it's actually been a couple of months ago. Surely not. Oh, maybe it is. At least 6 weeks ago, maybe more. Gosh, I went to Tanya Blanchard's book launch for An Undeniable Voice. I bought the first one, A Woman of Courage, at the same time, and I read that very quickly and early on. I have now read this. This is a sequel to A Woman of Courage, but it's not really. As Tanya explained at the book launch, you can read either. You can read them the other way round. You can read one without the other. It doesn't matter. But for me, if I can, I like to read things in the order that the author has written them. Because the other thing too with that, even if the novels are not connected, you get to see the development of the author and how they have developed as an author, and how their life their life events have influenced the novels. Because I always do like to do a little bit of a research on my novelists as well. Not always, but a lot of the time I do like to know who I'm reading, what made them tick to write a book. Anyway, Tanya Blanchard's An Undeniable Voice. This is the sequel, but you don't have to read it in that format. I suggest you do. First of all, this is absolutely beautiful cover. There's a reason, as Tanya explained, there is a reason why the colours of this novel, why the woman on the front is the way she is, as compared to A Woman of Courage. This just sparkles and shimmers, everyone. Honestly, these two novels are really beautiful for Christmas, I think. Imagine opening up one or two of these novels and it shimmers and shines. And although it's not, it looks Christmassy to me. It looks celebratory. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so Hannah is our narrator and our main protagonist. It is her life in England. At this stage, we're in 1907. We have progressed. She's married with children. And we have the suffragette movement taking a very big front in England at the time. Women still didn't have the vote. They wanted the vote. They deserved the vote. We also have, actually, you can see in the background the warships. The warplanes. I hope you can perhaps see that in the just in the over the shoulder here and also here. This is there is war looming. Hannah has to deal with her morals and ethics, and the way that will affect her family, for the suffragette movement, and also for the fact that the war is on the horizon. It is just there, and then we're in it. This is brilliant. It is what every woman would feel. How every woman, the dilemmas that we have in our lives on morals and ethics, but how that then affects our families or our partners or our friends, because we do have Hannah's friends in this from the first novel into this. We progress, although their lives have changed. We still have those friends, and how those friends have changed over time. This is absolutely beautiful. It's beautifully written. I would like to read you some excerpts, but I don't think I should. I just recommend that you buy the novel. It's beautifully written, and having met Tanya, I can honestly say, hand on heart, Tanya is a beautiful person inside and out. I think I mentioned that when I did the book launch video. She and Kira Geddes, who was there in conversation with Tanya, and also Sandy Docker, she was there. She wrote the Ladybirds Choir. I can't remember the full title. I'm sorry. So much is going on in this mind at the moment, everyone. I'm lucky that I can even remember my name. So they were all beautiful, really lovely, accommodating, friendly, welcoming people. They're just beautiful. And Tanya is absolutely, she was just so grateful that anybody had gone to her book launch, let alone anybody that had travelled from Victoria, such as myself. She was happy to talk on camera to the channel and to thank us all. She's just lovely. So when you know that about an author, it really does make it. Even though it may not reflect the author. The authors sometimes go off tap and have characters that they don't even like, perhaps. But it is always lovely, even on those occasions, that you know the author and you understand why they've done it, or you believe you understand why they've had these characters or this story. Now, this also is it was instigated by Tanya's desire to know more about her own family, and was instigated by, I think, a story about a great-grandmother or great-great-grandmother, I think. I may correct myself in the subtitles on that, but it was actually inspired by Tanya's own family history, absolutely. But I just can't remember the connection. I think it was either a great-grandmother or a great-great-grandmother, I think. So absolutely beautiful. I recommend this. You still have time to go out and buy this for Christmas for yourself as a holiday read or as a Christmas gift. Absolutely beautiful. I loved it. So that's those three, everyone. Tanya Blanchard, good on you, Tanya. It's absolutely beautiful, and I hope to see more of your novels in the future because I love your writing. The Lady Vanishes, which was originally titled The Wheel Spins. This is just a retitle from Alfred Hitchcock's movie that was inspired by the original book, the original novel, and one for a bit of fun, perhaps as a stocking filler, 100 Tales from Australia's Most Haunted Places by Ben Pobji. It was fun. This one is, by the way, it's around about 278 pages. I told you it was a firm press. I must tell you these. This is by Pushkin, Vertigo. This was originally, let's have a look actually, because I don't know when this was. Yeah, originally 1936, but this edition was 2024. That was this year. But the original was 1936. So yeah, based in, I think it feels to me like it was 1920s, 1930s that she wrote it. That it's based in, that it's set in. This one was, I think this was this year as well. No, 2022, and this edition was published in 2024. And of course, Tanya's 2024, this is by HarperCollins. Now, something exciting to tell you too. I must thank Tanya. When I was at the book launch for this, The Undeniable Voice, Tanya introduced me to her publicist, HarperCollins, a representative, Caitlin from HarperCollins. HarperCollins this week sent me an email asking me they gave me a list of books, of advanced readers' copies on a number of books. Not guaranteed that I will get all of them or any of them necessarily, but just because of demand for ARCs, for advanced readers' copies. So they're selective on who and what they give their books to. But I have submitted my request and I am waiting to hear from HarperCollins so that I get to read them and then I can recommend them to you. So that's exciting. I'm now, as you know, I do that for Fremantle Press, who is entirely an Australian publisher with Australian authors, mainly from Western Australia, with Australian stories. They're absolutely brilliant. I love Fremantle Press. I love their authors and their stories. HarperCollins is now allowing me or asking me to review and recommend their novels as well. So I will be getting their advanced readers copies. So that's exciting for the new year. So I will have two publishers now that we all have their then we will be reviewing and recommending their novels before they're published. So that's fantastic. Really exciting news for all of us. You will be first on the scene to get those novels if you enjoy them, or if you enjoy the review or recommendation of them. So thank you, Tanya. That was a wonderful introduction, and I appreciate it. I appreciate your support of the channel. Yeah, wonderful. And we love your novels, and I recommend these. Right. Okay, everyone, I will see you tomorrow with Mark by my side. I don't know which side he'll be sitting, but we'll be here somewhere with the boys, with the dogs, and we will be Mark will be answering a few of your questions. He's ready for that. He's feeling nervous and a little bit shy, I guess, which is really odd because he's actually in a band and he has played on stage a lot over the years. So you wouldn't think he was shy in front of a camera, but he is. So we will have him tomorrow answering questions. And then on Christmas Day, we will both celebrate with you if you are on your own or if you just feel like joining the channel pre-Christmas celebrations with your family, or particularly if you are on your own. We want to be here for you. We want to just celebrate, have a glass of champagne, have a mince tart, and we will, it'll just be, 10 or 15 minutes where we sit and celebrate with you. And we hope that that gives you a little bit of joy anyway. We'll be here with the dogs as well. So hopefully Arthur and Rune, maybe even Flynn, he may sit, I don't think so, but anyway, we may have to hold him and force him to be on camera. So yes, that's it. And then on Saturday will be our travel video. And then the following Monday before New Year's, we will have our book recommendation. I think I will follow next week, maybe, I'm not too sure, but part of the video may be just a recap on perhaps my top 5 or top 10 of the year. I'll have a think about that. We're trying to make the channel a little different to everyone else, and we don't necessarily want to do what everyone else is doing, but we want to do what you want us to do. So if that's something that you want us to do, then we are here for you, and we will do that. Okay, everyone. We do have some exciting things. I will tell you next week what some of those are, and we will be asking your opinion. So do get ready to type in some responses to us, because this is your channel, even though it is a channel that we work on and we work hard for. It is your channel. So you tell us what you want or what you'd like to see. We are trying to listen to you. We are listening, but we are trying to accommodate that we did the Christmas cooking. Perhaps that is something that we will do in the future as the channel really grows and it sort of makes it a little bit more feasible. Then we may do more cooking. We may have a cooking video once a week, or we may incorporate that into the book recommendation video. Something like that. So you let us know what you would like. We will have competitions next year. We will also have the bookmark as our business card to go into the Street Free Libraries. We will also have a poll that we're going to ask you to be part of and to say yes or no to our selection of business cards and bookmarks. So we hope that's something interesting for you. We are planning lots next year, everyone. It's so exciting. I'm not going to tell you everything next week, but I will tell you some of the things, and we will ask for your input. So we appreciate and respect your input on some of these, because as I say, it is your channel and we want you to be happy. Okay, I have my selection of deer here. I thought you may all appreciate that. I don't know. I may just turn the camera around. There's a selection of deer. We have been gifted some of these. We have purchased some over the years. It's just my little collection of deer. I don't know if you could see that, but anyway. All right, everyone. We hope that your Christmas preparations are on track. If you are on your own, remember, we will be here tomorrow for you, and we will be here on Christmas Day just for a few minutes. It's not going to be a big chunk out of your day, but we do want to be here to wish you a Merry Christmas. So that's it, everyone. I will see you next video, wherever that is, whenever you decide that you want to watch. Happy reading. Safe travels. Please be careful on the road. You know it's crazy out there. Wherever you are in the world, it is going to be crazy. So please watch other people. It's not necessarily you and how you're driving. It is other people. You have to be mindful of what they're doing because there's some craziness going on out there at the moment. Mark is out at the moment and he was really dreading it. He wanted to get out early before everyone got out there, and there was craziness in the shops and on the road. So anyway, okay, everyone, look after yourselves. Keep those comments coming. We love hearing from you. We really do. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow or whenever you decide, whenever you want to view the channel next. Oh, and do like, share and subscribe. That is one thing that we will ask of you. Please do, if you like the channel, if you like the videos, do like. Share it if you can, share the video, share the channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just a press of a few buttons and it will eventually help the channel. Okay, take care everyone. Wishing you well. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye for now.